Hello, this video will introduce you to eSRAP, a collaborative system for keeping up to date with patient-oriented research. My name is Vera Granikoff. I'm a librarian and a research coordinator with the Methodological Developments Platform of the Quebec Sport Support Unit. Keeping up with research publications is not easy. The number of publications is ever growing, there's too much information, not enough time, and it's not always easy to tell which studies are relevant or of high quality. This is particularly true in multidisciplinary fields such as patient-oriented research, where researchers need to scan several fields to find few potentially relevant publications. eSRAP is based on the philosophy of crowdsourcing and collaboration. In other words, we believe that keeping up to date as a group and sharing the task is easier than doing it individually. It is intended to be used by all members of the patient-oriented research community, be it researchers, patient partners, health professionals, and decision makers. So how does eSRAP work? First, the search strategy is developed by a librarian and a subject expert who will act as a community editor. The selection criteria is determined by the subject expert and validated with community members. Then the records or research abstracts are retrieved from a bibliographic database and automatically populate eSRAP. Finally, the community members will read, rate, and tag research abstracts. Now that I introduced what the eSRAP system is, I will briefly go over the basic steps. By default, whenever you log into eSRAP, you start at the dashboard. First, select a project to work on. The projects you have access to are found in the project panel at the top left of the dashboard. To have access to a project, you must be invited by an editor. In each project, there may be one or more subjects. Each subject represents a different aspect of your main research interest at a conceptual level. In each subject, there may be one or more sources. Each source groups the API links or search strategies from the same place, such as PubMed or Scopus. Click down through a project to a subject and then to a source. You must select the source to view records. When you select the source, you will retrieve the records that come from that source. If you want to retrieve only the unrated records, select the radio button for New Records Only in the Filters panel. By default, the system will retrieve all records, so be sure to select this option when you want to view only the new records that have not been rated. If you want to see a specific set of records, for example, that contain a certain keyword, you may add other filters here. This will allow you to filter by any field in the records. These are temporary filters and will not be saved from session to session. To create a filter, select the field from the drop-down list and click the Add button. Then select the comparison operator and finally enter the term you want to filter on in the text box. Notice that the terms from your filter now appear in the search panel. Remember, this is optional. You do not have to refine your search using filters. Next, click on the blue search button in the search panel. A table in the records panel below will become populated with records for your project. Be patient. If you have many records, it will take several seconds for them to appear. If there are relatively few records, it will not take very long. In the records panel, you can change the number of records that appear on each page. To do this, select a different number in the Results per Page drop-down list. In the top right, you will find a panel of different actions you can take. You can select all, deselect all, copy selected records, or export records in a number of formats. You can also show or hide which columns appear in the table. Now that your records table is populated, you can sort the records by using the buttons at the top of each column. To rate a record, first select one from the table by clicking on the magnifying glass icon. The detailed view for the record and the rating panel will open below the table. Read the article abstract, and if necessary, view the full text of the article by selecting Original Source from the drop-down menu in the Record Detail view. Next, Rate it according to the criteria in the rating panel. To save your rating, click on the Apply Rating button at the bottom of the rating panel. This step is important in order to save your work. The system will not save the ratings automatically. When it has been saved, you will receive a positive feedback message. Click OK to close the message. When you have finished with the record, proceed to the next one by selecting it from the table. You can also return to your place in the table by selecting Locate in Table option from the drop-down menu. When the contributors to your project have collaboratively rated enough records, you can export the results as a CSV file. This is done from the search panel on the dashboard. Choosing the Export button will export all records from the selected source along with columns showing ratings of the records. The Export All Users button will export only the records that have been rated, along with every contributor's ratings. If more than one contributor has rated a record, there will be a row for each contributor for that record. It is also possible to filter the records and export only the records that correspond to that filter. For example, if you would like to export all the records that have been rated a certain way, you can set a filter for that, then search for the records. From the Records panel, choose the button to export as Excel, CSV, or PDF. The file will be downloaded to your computer. You can find more information in our user guides. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope that this tool can help you collaboratively monitor your research interests.